Hey everyone, hope you guys are enjoying Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak and whichever platform you're choosing to play it on. And today we're going to be checking out the fact that Capcom went ahead and dropped the latest event quest as part of the 5th free title update. If you watch one of my most recent videos, I discussed pretty much as part of the leaks and data mines, pretty much all of the upcoming event quests that we know of that are pending as part of the latest update as we make our way into the 6/bonus free title update. And one of those event quests is the one that we got released this week called A Fire to Gyarados. This is a hunting master rank 2 event quest. So pretty much one of those that is going to be an entry level quest for a lot of players who have not been able to take down this monster at the very least in the latest iteration. Now this quest specifically does something really interesting that I think surprised a lot of people, and I'm very eager to see what Capcom's choice is going to be going forward with these new type of quests. But before we get into the quest itself, if you still don't necessarily know how to get your event quests or any downloadable item packs or anything along those lines, especially if you're one of the new players playing on PlayStation, Xbox, or PC Windows, all you need to do is make your way down to the Steelworks or in Elgato, speak to the courier cat, go all the way down to the add-ons options, and claim anything that's labeled in white. It turns gray once you claim it, and it essentially gives you any sort of free downloadable item packs, free event quests, and plenty of new goodies. In that batch of items that you might be able to get, an event quest would be the latest hunting quest called A Fire to Gyarados, where it has you hunting a Gyarados, just one of them, in the flooded forest. Now this mudfish is not necessarily a very popular monster at the end of the day, and probably one you don't necessarily even want to farm all that much, especially through anomaly investigations. And for the reason for that is it's just not necessarily a very exciting quest. The hunt itself usually isn't very exciting. It's a relatively low monster, so Pierce is really much gonna crush it. You should be able to have no issues taking it down. However, the approach that Capcom takes this is certainly one I want to talk about, because what they essentially do here is that they provide in the map 3 separate Gyarados in the map. So once you go in, all you need to do is kill one. You don't have to kill all 3 of them, and you get to choose whichever one you want to fight in the flooded forest. So you're noticing that you're going to fight one maybe around the water, maybe one northern to the land, maybe one towards the east towards the temple ruins. But at the end of the day, you get to choose whichever one you want to fight. The option here is that one of them will always have a big crown option. So crowns essentially are those extra modifiers, like if you fought the biggest version of a monster, or a small crown, which is the smallest version of a monster. One of the monsters usually is going to have a big crown, another one is going to be a small crown, and the other one is going to be somewhere in between. If you're hunting for crowns and you haven't necessarily fought these monsters, or you haven't necessarily decided to farm them to get a big or a small crown, these type of quests are going to come in as a godsend, especially for those lower tier monsters that a lot of people are not hunting all that often, because you're going to be able to choose whichever one you want to be able to target, get everyone to gravitate towards you, and then you're able to take it down. Usually if you're the host of the hunt, you go check out whichever one's the biggest or the smaller one you're going to be able to take down and go about your way. Everyone will gather to you and make their way. You're usually not going to see a lot of people just kind of go off on their own and hunt whichever one they want to hunt, unless they're actually trying to do the same thing. But all you need to take down one. This quest is relatively fast. I think we took it down in about 2 minutes the second time that I did it. It's not difficult at all. Again, Pierce will crush this thing. It's not really all that dangerous at the end of the day. Does the mud attacks, it likes to burrow under the water, but at the end of the day, it really just doesn't really put up much of a fight. And this is why it hasn't really even stuck out whenever you're doing anomaly investigation quests. The attack patterns are boring. Even the tougher anomaly investigation version of itself is not really that much of a hard fight, even though it has that big plessy tackle type of attack, but it doesn't really hit hard enough to be able to merit it to be really that much of a pain and a headache. Now another bonus thing you're going to notice is that whenever you finish the hunt itself, you're going to see that the quest bonus rewards is going to be chock full of jewels, and you're going to notice that you pretty much have all of the slightly lower tier jewels there. You're going to have plenty of jewels there to pick up. I believe the only two latest jewel tiers are not available in this quest, but that is of course the Master Rank 2 quest. So one of the things that you're also going to want to do is that if you want to pick up a lot of jewels for decorations for whatever reason, if you haven't picked them up already, you're going to be able to have the option to farm this quest relatively easy. Like I mentioned before, you can take it down in about 2 minutes with a group or solo, shouldn't be much longer than that, and get plenty of jewels for decorations. Those are going to come in very handy, especially with the newest decorations that are available there. Although of course, like I said, if you're going to be looking for higher tier decos, you know, you're probably going to want to wait for another higher difficulty monster to come with these same parameters. So what I'm wondering here is if Capcom is going to take the same approach for all of these lower tier monsters that a lot of people are not necessarily too interested in hunting, you know, the blood orange Bishaten, just a normal Bishaten, you know, a royal Ludroth or something like that, maybe something like an Anjanath or a basic Rathalos. All of the monsters that we've pretty much fought and we kind of like, you know, made our way through, you know, grinding our gear and pretty much leveling up through anomaly investigations. A lot of these monsters in normal versions do not really have, you know, easy accessible crown version of themselves. A lot of event quests have given us, whether it's a big or a small crown, but for some reason, you know, they don't really give us all that many of these monsters. And I do wonder if this new approach will probably go a long way. Maybe it's something that they're just doing uniquely for some of those monsters that haven't been fought all that often, you know, because they do have access to all that data where they do get to see, you know, you do have the option to share your data with Capcom and they'll be able to see, you know, what monsters it is that you're fighting, what armor you're crafting, all that kind of stuff, how many hunts you've been to, whatever weapon it is that you're using, all that kind of stuff. They have access to that if you wish to share it. And maybe they think some of these monsters, you know, haven't been fought a lot by the community, and at the end of the day, maybe they want to give us full access to, you know, crown information and stuff like that for, you know, some of these monsters. So maybe that is a new approach that they can take with the added bonuses that, hey, if you take down this monster, you get extra jewels, or maybe the next one can have more eggs. You know, we've had plenty of egg quests already. Any of the items that are maybe a little bit harder to get, they can become available through quests, and the added bonuses that you're trying to farm crowns through these type of quests. Now at the end of the day, they did end up dropping 2 quests. One of these days I'm going to be talking about the latest hazard event quest, and I have some opinions on that I certainly want to put out there, because at the end of the day I don't think Capcom did a very good job with that hazard event quest, and you know, it is a little bit of a bummer. But that's about all the information that I have for you guys today. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya!